With Tonto, the instrument was interconnected. We had many keyboards and controllers, and we had many people playing one instrument at the same time. So it was not many instruments with many people. It was three of us, like Stevie, me, and Malcolm, would play the synthesizer simultaneously. We all had certain things that we would do, and philosophically, it was going in the other direction. The interesting thing is that basically, when you think about recording something, okay, you think about taking a picture of a real event. It's a take, right? But you're realizing a two-dimensional image of a three-dimensional event, like a camera taking a picture. With electronic music, there are no real events. Everything is unfolding in your head and is vibrating electrons. There is no picture of a take. It's all inspired and takes place in your head. It unfolds in your head, is created in your head, and the instruments, a synthesizer is not an instrument that imitates a real instrument. It can, but a true synthesizer takes vibrating electrons and manipulates them. So it's a much more inspirational event. It is not a take of a real-time event at all. It's totally serial. It happens over many hours and many layers. It has no relationship to the real world at all. What we did with Stevie is we took that and combined it with some real instruments and some real keyboards, and we came up with this wonderful hybrid sound, which was neither a take of reality or a totally generated in the computer. It was a sort of a mixture of both elements. And I think that that's what really attracted us. Stevie heard Zero Time, and he came to the studio on that Sunday afternoon in July, I think it was hot, in a chartreuse jumpsuit. I'll never forget it. And I looked down there, and there he was standing at the door of the studio, banging on the studio door. It was Sunday, the studio was closed. And we started working together, and we didn't look up for 5 years.
That was an unbelievable, one of the best 5 years in the history of popular music. I have here the first Music in My Mind.
I did that album cover. That's my art direction, too, on that.
Nice.
Yeah.
So Superwoman, that's a good example of the fruit of your early labors, right?
I would say so. Good bass sound on that.
Yeah.
But you notice one thing about the early records, the earlier ones, like Talking Book 2, there are really very few instruments on it. It's really basically a quartet. There's not a lot of orchestration. There's not waterfalls of sound or stuff of high degree of legerdemain. It was all kind of earthy, you know, bass, drums, and guitar and keyboards, basically. There's nothing fancy about the music. It's just good songwriting, but rendered in a new space.
Fantastic songs. And well, and it gave the feeling of that one-man band. You know, Stevie Wonder was this one-man band. Little did we know at the time the sort of wizards behind the curtain helping out.
Yeah, some guy, some press thing called us Stevie's Backroom Boffins. And it was kind of, in the end, we kind of didn't really get, we feel that we didn't really get the recognition we deserved during the time. But now, 40 years later, it's become apparent, you know, who was behind the curtain. And we all pulled our weight, you know, but it was important for Steve to have the structure. And we brought that, and we brought the discipline, and we brought the sense of adventure with the synthesizer. He would play it, we would program it. You know, we would make the sounds and make sure that the thing started to have some form. We produced the records with Stevie. We were all equal.